to that extent that they complained about Ali's justice. They said, Ali has not been just. Ali has not been fair. They spoke to Khalid ibn Walid, who by that time became a Muslim, and he was in the army. And he said, you must go quickly back to Medina and report to Rasulullah. Before Ali and others come back, go quickly and report to Rasulullah. So 3 people left the army, went quickly back to Medina. When they reached the house of Rasulullah, they saw some people outside. They asked them, why you have come earlier? They said their story. They encouraged them to complain to Rasulullah. So you know that in Medina, it was not that everyone loved Imam Ali. There were many, people who had hatred. أودع قلوبهم أحقادا بدرية وخيبرية وحنينية وغيرهن. There were problems. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came out to listen to them. They say, we reported what happened to Rasulullah, but we didn't dare to look at the eyes of Rasulullah. So we were bending our neck and saying that Ali has done this. The first person, the second person, the third person. Normally you need 2 witnesses. So there were 3 witnesses. They all reported exactly the same thing. When they finished, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this is in Sunni sources, ماذا تريدون من علي إنه مني وأنا منه. What do you want from Ali? He is from me, I am from him. Have you gone all the way to complain about Ali who is from me to me? It means like complaining about myself. إنه مني وأنا منه. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَفَمَنْ كَانَ عَلَى بَيِّنَةٍ مِّن رَبِّهِ وَيَتْلُوهُ شَاهِدٌ مِّنْهُ, it's very clear to whom he is referring. Another verse is قُلْ كَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَكُمْ وَمَنْ عِنْدَهُ عِلْمُ الْكِتَابِ. Tell them it is sufficient that Allah is witness between me and you, and the one who has ilmul kitab, the knowledge of the book. Ilmul kitab is different from ilmun min al-kitab. If someone has ilmun min al-kitab, is some knowledge of the book. If someone has ilmul kitab, is all knowledge of the book. Now let's see, what can you do if you have some knowledge of the book, so that you can guess what would be the position of the person who has all knowledge of the book. In the story of Prophet Sulaiman, Allah Nabiyyina wa alayhi salam, and the Queen of Saba, the Quran says, when he said, who is going to bring me the throne of the queen? First, قال عفريت من الجن أنا آتيك به قبل أن تقوم من مقامك. I am going to bring before you stand up or before your meeting is finished. There are 2 meanings, 2 interpretations. So it means that very quickly, in a matter of 2-3 minutes, I can bring it for you. He was a jinn. وَقَالَ الَّذِي عِنْدَهُ عِلْمٌ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ. But the one who had some knowledge of the book said, أَنَا آتِيكَ بِهِ قَبْلَ أَنْ يَرْتَدَّ إِلَيْكَ طَرْفُكَ. Before your eye blinks, I bring it. Means immediately. Why? Because he had some knowledge of the book. Now, if someone has all knowledge of the book, it means he knows everything. So, without any, prejudice, without being biased, if you ask everyone, who was the one other than Rasulullah, who had ilmul kitab, and he was a witness. كَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَكُمْ وَمَنْ عِنْدَهُ عِلْمُ الْكِتَابِ. No one would say there was another person, for example, the first caliph or second caliph or anyone else had ilmul kitab. The only one that everyone accepted was the most knowledgeable was Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam. So you see, the Quran is very clear about this matter. The verse about Prophet Isa, that the witness must live with the people. And these two verses make it very clear that at every generation there is a witness. And that witness is not no one other than the Hujjah of Allah in every time. Who is witness today? This is Imam al-Hujjah Ajjalallah Ta'ala Farajahu Sharif. He is the one who is aware of whatever we do, and he is going to report to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we do something right or wrong, good or bad, he knows. There are many hadiths under this verse. قُلْ اعْمَلُوا فَسَيَرَى اللَّهُ عَمَلَكُمْ وَرَسُولُهُ وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Many hadiths which says that all our actions are reported to the Imam of the time. So, this is one point that I wanted to mention. The second point is, now, what should be our response to the Hujjah of Allah? Our response to the Hujjah of Allah is to accept His guardianship, to accept His wilayah. As Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man kuntu mawlah, fahadha aliyyun mawlah. Allahumma wali man wala, wa'ad man aadah, mansur man nasarah, wakhdhul man khadalah." If I was someone's wali, now Ali is his wali. Okay, now there can be two responses. Those who accept, oh Allah, please be their support. Please be with them. Allahumma wali man wala. If someone joins Ali, obeys him, accept him as his guardian, as his leader, you be with them. And if someone shows hostility towards him and rejects him, you be against them. Oh Allah, help whoever helps him and forsake whoever forsakes him. Okay, now the question is, what does acceptance of this wilayah require? This is a very important question, and I am sure that unfortunately has not received enough attention. Those who believe in this principle of wilayah cannot achieve this wilayah just by loving Imam, just by remembering Imam, working for Imam, just by having a relation of one-to-one by Imam. This is not enough. You must be connected to Imam with the rest of the community of Imam. Wilayah is not one-to-one relation. Wilayah is membership to a group, to a community who has Imam as the leader, but you have to be connected to all the members of this community. You cannot say, I am only thinking about the Imam. I don't bother about the rest. No. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the example of the believers is like one body. مثل المؤمنين في توادهم وتراحمهم وتعاطفهم كمثل الجسد. Can hand or leg or ear or eye say, I don't bother about the rest of body, I just want to be connected to the brain? Is it possible? No. You are cells and organs of the same body. Whatever happens in one part of the body would affect the entire body. This is very important. When the history of our community is reviewed, we find out that unfortunately, in many times, we have not really been good Shia, good followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, because we have neglected this important point. We have not understood how important it is to be united as one body, one community. We have always been individualistic in our attitude to the school of Ahlul Bayt. I make few references to some du'as and some ziyarat. If you are interested, I have some lectures online, you can listen. Collective nature of wilayah. There are also some papers in English and Farsi. For example, if you look at Ziyarat Ashura, I am sure many times you have read Ziyarat Ashura and you have been reflecting. But I don't know, have you noticed this point or not? Because I myself for many years was not attentive to this point. In Ziyarat Ashura we say, أَتَقَرَّبُ إِلَى اللَّهِ, I seek closeness to Allah. وإلى رسوله وإلى أمير المؤمنين وإلى فاطمة وإلى الحسن وإلى الحسين بموالاتكم وبالبراءة. I seek closeness to Allah and to you by two things: by having your wilayah and distancing myself from enemies. By the way, I have to tell you, it's not that everyone who has no wilayah is enemy. We have two groups who are organized, but people are three groups. We have the camp of truth and values, the camp of falsehood, and many people in between. Muzabzabin, la ilaha illa wa la ilaha illa. The majority of people are in between. We don't have that mentality that whoever is not with us is against us. No. We believe that those who are against us are very little in number. The majority of people of the world are good people. They just don't know. They don't have orientation. It's up to you. You can reach them or you can leave them so that the other can take them. If you are clever, you can win their hearts. So, this is why we have in hadith that Amirul Mu'minin is a gate. And people are one of the three. Those who have entered through this gate, those who have come out through this way, and those who have neither gone through nor came out. There are three groups of people. So, I seek closeness to you by having your wilayah and distancing myself from that opposite camp. But the second time, this is repeated in Ziyarat Ashura with some addition. This is very important. أَتَقَرَّبُ إِلَى اللَّهِ ثُمَّ إِلَيْكُمْ. In the second time, we don't mention 5 separately because we have already mentioned them before. So we say إِلَيْكُمْ بِمُبَالَاتِكُمْ وَمُوَالَاتِ وَلِيِّكُمْ وَبِالْبَرَاءَةِ. What does it mean, مُوَالَاتِ وَلِيِّكُمْ? If you say wali means imam, imam is included in muwalatikum. Muwalat waliyakum means those who are your followers. By having wilaya of your followers, I can expect to get close to you. Otherwise I cannot get close to you. In Ziyarat Ashura we say, Inni salmun liman salamakum. What does it mean? You think it's very easy, but it's not easy. It's very difficult. I don't know how many people can honestly say this to Imam Hussein. Inni salmun lakum is easy. I am at peace with you. It's very easy. Inni salmun liman salamakum. It's very difficult. I am at peace with whoever is at peace with you. How many people can say this to Imam Hussein honestly? If you have ever harmed any follower of Ahlul Bayt, you cannot say this to Imam Hussein. If you have a problem with your brother or sister or husband or wife or neighbor or colleague,